Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to jump into one of the most powerful tools a parent has, communication. We're going to explore how shifting our focus, from trying to fix weaknesses to actually celebrating strengths, can totally transform the connection we have with our kids. Okay, let's dive right in.
This is a really critical question for any parent. We all want to encourage our kids, right? But sometimes, even with the best intentions, our praise, it just misses the mark. The source material even has a name for this: wounding words. These are the kinds of words that they can chip away at a child's self-worth. And a lot of the time, we don't even realize it's happening. So let's start with a problem. Many of us, and it comes from a good place, we fall into what's called a fix-it mindset. We see an issue, maybe it's low grades or a messy room, and our first instinct is to solve it. But focusing constantly on fixing things, it has a hidden and pretty high price. This quote, wow, it really brings that idea home. It's from a mother who was just caught deep in that trap. She'd spent years trying to fix her son's challenges in school. I mean, she was so buried in meetings with specialists and therapists that she'd completely lost sight of who her son really was. It actually took a friend with tears in her eyes to remind her of the amazing person she was forgetting to see right in front of her. And that right there is the core of the weakness trap. When we only see the problems, we can start to feel like we're failing as parents. But what's even worse is that our kids, they absorb that message. They can start to see themselves as just a collection of problems to be solved, instead of a whole person with these incredible, unique strengths, those beautifully sculpted parts of who they are. And this quote, wow, it just shows the heartbreaking result of that kind of damage. This was from a 16-year-old boy named Brad. After years and years of negative feedback, he genuinely believed he had nothing good to offer. But here's the hopeful part, because there's a tool for this. The source material mentions something called the VIA Youth Survey, which helps pinpoint character strengths. And for Brad, the survey showed that his top strength was humor. Just that one piece of information gave him the confidence to finally start sharing his funny ideas, and it totally changed how he saw himself. Okay, so if focusing on weaknesses is the problem, is the answer just to praise our kids more? Well, not exactly. It turns out there's a bit of a puzzle to solve here. You see, not all praise is created equal, and understanding the difference is really the key to unlocking our kids' potential. So we often default to one of these three types of praise you see here. There's generic praise, like good job, which is nice, but it's pretty vague. Process praise is a step up. It highlights their effort. And then there's person praise, which focuses on some kind of fixed talent. These are all common, sure, but they're all missing a really crucial ingredient for building that deep, lasting self-awareness. So what's the missing piece of that puzzle? This is where it gets really exciting. There's a fourth type of praise, a really specific formula that honestly changes everything. It's called strength-based praise. Strength-based praise isn't just about what a child did, it's about who they were while they were doing it. It actually gives them a name for that positive quality they used, like creativity or perseverance or kindness. This builds a whole vocabulary for their own inner goodness and helps them start seeing those strengths in themselves. And the best part is how incredibly simple the formula is. It's just two steps. First, you state the specific action you saw. You're basically like a mirror, just reflecting back exactly what they did. And then you name the strength they used to do it. It's that direct connection between the action and the strength that makes it so powerful and so memorable for a kid. Let's look at a really clear example. The old way, that person praise, might sound like, wow, that looks great. You must have artistic talent. It kind of suggests it's just a fixed thing they have. But look at the strength-based version. You really used your creativity to put so many colors in that painting. And here's the key. The child learns they have a tool, it's called creativity, and it's something they can choose to use again and again. Now, once you get the hang of using this kind of praise day to day, the source material suggests a way to take it to a whole other level, a really powerful exercise that can have a huge, lasting impact on your child's sense of self. It's called a strengths letter. And this isn't just a quick note. It's a thoughtful, even formal letter where you actually document the specific strengths you've seen in your child and you give examples. It becomes this permanent record of their best qualities, something they can go back to and read again and again. And the process is actually really straightforward. You spend about a week just observing, kind of like being a detective for your child's best moments. Then you identify the strengths behind those actions, and you write the letter, filling it with all those specific examples. Just the simple act of sharing it, of making your appreciation official, can be so incredibly moving and validating for a child. And the impact is very real. One parent wrote a letter to her son Josh, and she specifically called out his perseverance in sports and school. This act of naming his strength helped him see it in himself, and he went on to become a school leader, a team captain, and Sportsman of the Year. The letter didn't create that strength in him, it just helped him recognize and own it. Now, when you start recognizing individual strengths like this, something really incredible starts to happen. This approach doesn't just change individual kids, it has the power to change the whole family dynamic. You stop being just a group of people living together, and you start becoming a real team. Here's a perfect example of how this works for the whole family. Imagine a couple where one person is really strong in prudence, careful and cautious, while the other is strong in kindness. Before, that difference might have caused all sorts of conflict. But by seeing these as different, valuable strengths, they can completely reframe their relationship. His prudence helps get things done right, her kindness helps maintain relationships. It's a huge shift from judgment to genuine appreciation. So, what this all leads to, the ultimate goal, is to elevate our family conversations. We move away from this culture of always catching mistakes, and we move toward one where we're helping our kids see how their unique talents can be useful and valuable to the world. We build a family culture where everyone feels seen, appreciated, and supported for who they truly are. And that brings us to the end. This whole big shift begins with just one small act of observation. So I'm going to leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about, what is the one strength you are going to make a point to spot and name in your child today?